is gone and hope is sure. Christ is mine forevermore.
The category of ministry. This person, I'll read the question verbatim. It was very humbling to hear about the call to shepherd our churches, and that's referring to Julius's message. Do you have any practical advice for the balance between shepherding our churches, our families, and our own souls? I think the key word is balance. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good question. You know, what's amazing is that only one, I'm trying to remember the statistics, only 1 out of 10 of you will end your life in ministry. And so if these statistics are true, then I've got a bunch. 70% of you battle with depression. You know, 90% of you, something like that, have problems in your marriage in terms of balancing. So a lot of these statistics exist. And so again, I think it's so important for us to be aware that ministry is hard, and especially if you're not balancing well your life at home with your life at church and your life out even outside of that. So one of the things that we've been doing at the seminary is actually talking in our pastoral ministry seminar class about what does it mean for self-care but also self-development in light of the concentric circles in which you live. So it's your immediate circle is yourself. And you're not being selfish when you take care of yourself, if you understand what I mean. If you're physically, emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically not healthy, how do you expect your church to be? Now, one could argue, well, because it's not about me, it's about Jesus. And the Holy Spirit will bless in spite of me. Well, yes and no. You'll only last for so long. And you're going to be another statistic. And so what do you need to do? You need to be involved with self-care. One of the most important things in self-care is actually what Pastor Owen talked about in his workshop, about having godly accountability in friendships. Now that I'm 51, I am so thankful that almost 20 years ago, I decided, wow, I cannot do this alone. I finally came to that realization. Strip my pride. I'm a doctor, you know? I don't need other people. And then I said, golly, I need people in my life to check on me and to say, I love Jesus more than I love you. And if you screw up, I'm going to let you know, and I'll let your church know, for the glory of Christ, for the honor of His name. You need friends like that in your life. That's so important for your self-care. And then in terms of self-development, finding forums like this is also very important, to connect with others who are in the same kind of space, to talk. I don't know about you, but this has been so enriching to me and so encouraging to my soul. And I need times like this. It gets lonely and hard in ministry, in our weird bicultural space. You know, so this is so important. You need things like this, and making sure that there's a definite balance between your church and your family. You know, I don't think Paul was just talking off the cuff when he talked about if you can't manage your own household well, how do you expect to manage the household of God? So I'm going out of my way, now having been married 27 years, I'm actually rediscovering what does it mean to just love my wife and spend time with her. Not just quality time, right? You know, we Koreans are so efficient. We're going to do quality ministry, quality time. You know, your family just wants quantity time. Your wife wants quantity time. And so we go out of our way to structure specific times we have to be together. But we also allow for spontaneity too. But I think you need both. You need structured time and spontaneous time for your marriage to be healthy. And I'm finally figuring that out after 27 years. Good night. So that's been really healthy for us. Because your whole life you're worried about the kids, but then your kids grow and are gone. You're like, well, wait, I'm married to somebody. And we don't just talk about kids anymore. And you have to kind of rediscover that. And I think that's really important. So there's a lot more I could do. I give a 2-hour lecture on this, but I think those are just some thoughts that I have.
Rejoice now, oh my soul, for His love is my reward. Fear is gone and hope is sure.